One quarterback in this draft is getting everything he ever dreamed of. The rest are getting left behind in ways nobody saw coming. Teams with open quarterback spots are spending their first-round picks on everything but a quarterback. Scouts are already talking about waiting for next year's class instead, and the draft is less than 2 weeks away. This is the most brutally honest verdict the NFL has ever delivered on a quarterback class. Let's start with the only quarterback in this entire class who has a guaranteed future. Fernando Mendoza, Las Vegas Raiders, pick number 1 overall. That part is not a surprise to anyone. The Raiders are taking Mendoza first, full stop. There is zero mystery there. But here is what people are not talking about. Mendoza is walking into one of the most difficult situations a rookie quarterback can face. The Raiders have spent years rebuilding, and they are not done. At pick 36, they are expected to grab either a wide receiver or a right tackle to put around their new franchise guy, with Washington receiver Denzel Boston being a name directly connected to Las Vegas in insider reports. But even with those additions, Mendoza is being handed a roster that still has serious holes. The Raiders used last year's draft on receivers Dante Thornton Jr. and Jack Beck, and they still need more. So yes, Mendoza is the prize. He is the one quarterback in this class who goes number 1 and becomes the face of a franchise. The rest of these guys? Their fates are far more complicated, and that is where it gets dark fast. Stay with me, because the next name on this list is the one that is genuinely shocking. Ty Simpson was supposed to be a first-round pick. The Alabama quarterback had the bloodlines, the size at 6'2", the arm strength, and a college reputation that had teams circling him going back to last season. Multiple teams were connected to him at picks 16 and 33. There was even talk of the Cardinals trading back into round 1 specifically to land him. That talk is now basically dead. Here is what ESPN's Matt Miller reported directly from league sources this week. Nobody in the NFL can identify which team is actually going to take Simpson in round 1. Teams keep suggesting that someone might take him, but when you press them, nobody wants to claim it. One scouting director said it out loud. Why give up draft picks to jump into round 1 when the Jets didn't like him enough at number 2 or number 16 to take him? That quote alone tells you everything. The Jets hold picks 2, 16, and 33. They have 3 first-round selections. If they wanted Simpson, they could take him at any one of those spots. They are not taking him at any of them. The Jets reporter confirmed they are not taking a quarterback in the first round at all, and the expectation is they address Simpson, if they do, in the 4th round, possibly targeting Penn State's Drew Allar, who just had a private workout at the Jets facility. So Simpson, who entered this cycle as a round 1 prospect, is now looking at round 2 at best. That is a collapse, and it matters because of what it says about the entire quarterback market in this draft. Teams know something, and what they know is not good for most of these passers. Remember, we are less than 2 weeks from the draft. The clock is running, and the situation for the quarterbacks after Simpson gets even stranger. Let's talk about Carson Beck, Garrett Nussmeier, and Drew Allar. 3 quarterbacks who, in a different draft class, might be fighting for a round 2 or round 3 slot with legitimate starting upside. In this class, they are basically fighting for their professional lives. The Pittsburgh Steelers are the most interesting case here. Pittsburgh has Aaron Rodgers potentially returning, has Will Howard on the roster from last year's 6th-round pick, and coach Mike McCarthy has been transparent that any quarterback they draft needs long arms, big hands, and the ability to handle cold weather. The Steelers have done full homework on Beck, Nussmeier, and Allar. But here is the gut punch. One internal Steelers source told ESPN directly, Pittsburgh will not be forced to draft a quarterback this year. They are going to play the board first. Will Howard already has fans in the front office. So Beck, Nussmeier, and Allar are all waiting for a team to blink, and right now, nobody is blinking in round 1. The Cardinals are the only team that has been openly connected to trading back into the first round for a quarterback, specifically for Simpson. But even that idea, according to a scouting director who spoke to ESPN, was met with skepticism. The question being asked in Arizona is whether Simpson is worth trading away a high pick now, or whether they wait for the 2027 draft class, which many scouts already consider significantly stronger at quarterback. Think about that. Teams are looking at this quarterback class and already planning for 2027. Here is the thing about the Jets that reveals the full picture of how teams view this quarterback class. New York has 3 picks in the top 33. They are in a position to take a quarterback at literally any point in the first round or with their first pick in the second round. They have no starting quarterback locked in. They have the picks, they have the cap space, and they have the need. They are not taking a quarterback in the first round. Instead, they are using picks 2 and 16 on pass rushers and wide receivers, specifically targeting David Bailey or Arvil Reese at number 2 to upgrade Coach Aaron Glenn's defense. They love Indiana wide receiver Omar Cooper Jr., viewing him as an ideal complement to Garrett Wilson. And the quarterback question, if they even address it, is getting pushed to the 4th round. When a team with 3 first-round picks and an open quarterback spot refuses to spend any of those picks on a quarterback, that tells you the entire scouting community's honest opinion of this class below Mendoza. The Jets are essentially saying, we would rather build everything else first and take our chances later on a developmental arm than reach for any of these quarterbacks now. That is a brutal verdict, and the quarterbacks in this class have to live with it. We started this video talking about guaranteed futures and tragic fates, and here is where it all comes together. Mendoza gets the golden ticket. 1 team, 1 pick, 1 franchise locked in. Every other quarterback in this class is fighting for a situation that is either broken, uncertain, or being treated as an afterthought. Simpson slides to round 2 after teams publicly refuse to confirm they want him in round 1. Allar is doing private workouts hoping the Jets notice him in the 4th round. Beck, Nussmeier, and others are waiting to see if a desperate team blinks on day 2. And the Cardinals, the one team that had real smoke around jumping back into round 1 for a passer, is now seriously weighing whether to just wait an entire year for a better class. The 2026 quarterback class outside of Fernando Mendoza is, by every available piece of insider information, being treated as a development project, not a solution, not a franchise answer, a project. For the players themselves, that reality is harsh. These are guys who played 4 or 5 years of college football, put up numbers, went through every pro day and combined drill imaginable, and the verdict from the NFL is, you are not worth a first-round pick. Maybe not even worth a second-round pick. Take a private workout. Wait by the phone on day 2. Hope someone calls. That is the tragic fate of the 2026 NFL draft quarterbacks. One guy gets everything, the rest get uncertainty, and in less than 2 weeks in Pittsburgh, we are going to find out exactly how this lands. If you want to see how this all plays out pick by pick, hit subscribe. We are covering the 2026 NFL draft from every angle, and it is only going to get wilder from here.